good morning.
Well, good morning, Alison. Good to be with you again.
Good to be with you too. It's already November 3rd.
Yeah. Wow.
By, right?
Next thing you know, Thanksgiving's here, then Christmas. Boom, done.
I know.
Yeah.
I know all the stores are already pivoting, which
this
makes sense if you're in retail. All right, so here we are. It's an NBC 10 coffee break, and let's just jump into it. I heard part of your show this morning as I was dipping in and out of cut-ins during the Today Show. But the big story of the day, of course, is still no deal. Right. Government remains shut down and no movement for SNAP. So this is what we were expecting. What are you hearing on your end as far as the local response?
Okay, two things. The Democrat attorneys general, including Peter Nerona, ran to federal court, and they persuaded judges here in Rhode Island, Jack McConnell, and a judge in Massachusetts to order the administration to release contingency money. Now, the Democrat said, the Trump administration can do this if they really want to. Well, it turns out those two judges agreed with him. And now the president says, I won't appeal it. I'll put the lawyers back in court today. We'll figure out how we could do this. So that's one thing. Apart from that, Senator Cruz and other Republicans say, you watch, the Democrats are going to come back on Wednesday or Thursday of this week and pass the continuing resolution and reopen the government. So this stuff in court may be a moot point, because if they reopen the government, the money starts to flow anyway. And Cruz says they're going to do that because they want to hold off till after tomorrow's election, because they want to get more Democrats fired up in New Jersey and Virginia, where they're electing governors and where it's very close.
So does that mean they give up on health care and Obamacare at this point?
No, it means that they'll reopen the government, but even when they reopen it, it only goes till November 21st. So they've got 3 weeks to fight about it, see if they come up with a compromise, and then the government would shut down again. We could be in for this again, but at least for the next 3 weeks, if they do it on Wednesday, it's no guarantee. This is just what the Republicans are speculating. They're going to come back, reopen it on Wednesday or Thursday. And all this other emergency action is a moot point. The money flows again. The government's open for another 3
Lawyers
weeks.
Get paid.
Yeah.
Lawyers get paid a lot.
We're
going to talk about that 60 Minutes interview as well, because the president, the first thing out of the gate was Democrats' fault. Yep. When he was asked by CBS News about that. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, Maura Healey, we have a soundbite lined up about Friday's ruling. This was from Face the Nation.
Yeah. The AG's for getting the favorable ruling. It basically tells the president, do what you're supposed to do, which is use the contingency funds that have been set aside for exactly this purpose. When there is a shutdown, among other things, release those funds, continue the SNAP payments to our states. I strongly urge that.
Well, they were right about that.
But it's late.
Yeah, they were right about that. According to these two judges who ruled in their favor. Now, this Jack McConnell, he's a federal judge in Providence. He has ruled against the Trump administration several times. He used to be I believe he was the chairman of the Democratic Party in Rhode Island at one point. So some of his critics say he's too much in the tank for the Democrats. Others say no, he's just a judge calling it as he sees it. So you could have that separate debate. This is kind of not that it's new, but this level of Democrat attorneys general running to Democrat-controlled judges, or at least judges with a Democrat background, ruling in their favor, we've seen this as a pattern.
Right. Yeah. Also interesting to note, I did stop by a couple of food pantries, and it was tense, definitely. There was a lot of pressure, a little bit of fighting, people desperate for food. So I saw that in the local level for sure. So we'll see if anything improves over the next couple of days. For when the pantries open again. All right, Gene. We're going to get to all that in a minute. Also, Providence Mayor Brent Smiley and Mayor Maria from Central Falls, right over here. They're speaking about the federal ruling, too. We're going to have that later today. So that'll happen late Friday, spilled into the weekend. And here we are on Monday. So we'll have more on that, too, on NBC 10 News at noon. All right, AJ standing by. I was going to say, do we have him out in the cold? We don't. He's inside. But we'll get to him nonetheless, and then we'll jump back in. Yeah. Good morning, AJ. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Alison and Gene. Temperatures this morning a little bit chilly. We got down into the mid-30s here in the Providence area. Of course, a lot more cloud cover opposed to what we had out there for yesterday. Temperatures have climbed up a little bit through the morning. We're now up to 48 in Providence, 53 Somerset, 55 down the Newport area. I do think the majority of the region at least getting into the mid-50s as we continue through the afternoon. However, the afternoon looming just to our south, some more rain showers, actually some steady rain just south of Block Island. We do expect to see more of these showers overspread the region as we continue into the afternoon. Pretty much within the next hour or two, the South Coast starting to see some of the light showers, and especially towards New Bedford, Plymouth, the Cape, and the islands. This rain likely continuing as we head into the evening. We can time it out with forecast track, 3:30 p.m. A little bit dry out towards the Worcester Hills, Woodstock, but Woonsocket through Attleboro, some light shower activity. More of this through Acushnet as well as the New Bedford area. Falmouth, Harwich on the Cape also getting in on more of these. We do expect to see even a few showers linger after sundown as we continue towards 9-10 p.m. tonight. That's when a cold front's going to sweep on through the region, and that's really going to be kind of the driving factor that flushes out all of this moisture. So waking up tomorrow morning, even by midnight, we're talking about clear skies, blustery conditions, temperatures falling on down into the 40s by wake-up time tomorrow morning, so not quite as cold as this morning, but we will be seeing more of that breeze picking up throughout the rest of our Tuesday. So here's a look at wind gusts really picking up as we continue into tonight, into the overnight, 10:15 tomorrow morning. We're starting to see some gusts through Providence, Taunton, Westerly, around 30 to 35 miles per hour. So I wouldn't quite say severe winds. We don't have a wind advisory or anything like that, but definitely going to be a little bit gusty out there as we continue through the rest of our Tuesday. Heading into the afternoon, in the evening, those winds calm down to around 20, 30 miles per hour in terms of those wind gusts. Now, we do have more sunshine in the forecast as we continue into the middle of the week. Wednesday starting off with a decent amount of sun. We're upper 50s for the afternoon. However, Wednesday night into Thursday, we are tracking one more rain chance here for the week. You can see that really just confined to our Wednesday night, aside from the showers we got going for today. Heading for the weekend, too, also tracking a little bit more rain. Once you get a little bit closer, of course, we'll be fine-tuning that weekend forecast. But just keep that in mind. Definitely want the umbrella later on today. May need it once again heading for the weekend. Gene and Allison?
All right, AJ, thanks. It's cold.
Very good. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Weather's changing.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the president and his interview, with 60 Minutes. This is the first time he went back on CBS after that lawsuit, which he won, by the way.
He did. Yeah.
So I watched, Gene, I don't know if you compared both, but I watched the unedited version, mostly unedited version on YouTube, and then I compared it also with the 60 Minutes version. Obviously, 60 can't put the whole thing on.
No,
That would be impossible. That's totally unfair. It goes against standard practice anyway. But all the stuff about CBS, and I don't want to embarrass you. And
Okay, so the entire interview was 73 minutes long with Nora O'Donnell. CBS edited it down to 27 minutes, which by 60 Minutes standard, that's twice as long as their usual segments.
Right.
So it was a healthy 27 minutes.
It's like a two-parter. Yeah.
Now, they did leave out this chunk where Trump was needling them over paying him to settle the last 60 Minutes interview they did with Kamala Harris. Remember, he complained about the terrible editing. It was a sloppy edit job.
Yes.
I think it was sloppy. They used a question, they went down and found an answer and married it together. Wrong. You have to let it flow naturally. You can shorten it, but you got to let it flow naturally. They didn't do that. That was an amateur mistake.
You can't change the meaning, even if you're going to condense it.
You
Right.
can't have a question and then go down and find an answer. You have to have a question, let it answer. Now, if it's going too long, you can cut it and marry it, but you can't just go grab an answer. That's what they did. Trump caught him, and they paid him for that, a settlement. Now, the 60 Minutes, the old guard there will say, no, he shook us down because CBS is part of Paramount. Paramount was up for sale. To get the sale going, Redstone, the woman who was running it, said, just pay him a check because I want this deal to go through. There's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake over here. So he did bring that up yesterday. They left that out of the edited interview, correct? They never.
It was at the end.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, by the way, I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass you.
Yeah.
By the way, he brought up, some common terminology with how he feels about the media. He claims he wants a free press, though, but a more responsible free press, in his words. And then he praised the new head of CBS News,
Barry Weiss. She is coming there determined to, as she sees it, to drag that organization from the left, at least back to the center. And she's going to have a tough job doing that. She's cleaning house. There's a buzz in New York that Gayle King is going to get it next.
So she was not on the air this morning.
No, and Dickerson
that
is out.
That doesn't mean anything. You could read into it or not. Yes, and then supposedly she's, from everything I've been reading outside of industry reports, is that she's looking at other networks to pull somebody else from out in versus bringing Nora up or somebody else up from within. But, so I don't know. Interesting, huh? She's pretty young. She's 41. She went to Columbia. She's a writer.
She was with the New York Times.
Wall Street Journal.
She quit the New York Times over a disagreement with them, and then she started her own webpage, and she has been tapped by the new owner of CBS, David Ellison, Larry Ellison's kid, bought Paramount. CBS comes with it. He is determined to shake that up and drag it, as he sees it, from the left back to the center, Barry Weiss is the person he's charged of doing that. She's cleaning house. She's blowing out that anchor team on the CBS Evening News. Dickerson is leaving. Maurice may be next. They're in third place. She's shaking up the morning show. It sounds like she got rid of CBS Saturday morning.
I saw that they reported about their last 3 weeks are coming out, right?
So.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the ratings, right? It's one thing if your ratings are on top.
Well, they've been mired in third place,
forever.
I think, forever.
Right.
Forever.
I know. So yeah, it's one thing. It's not really a popularity contest. It's a ratings war. And if you're not winning in the ratings, I mean, they've got some leverage. So yeah, interesting. All right. The president was also asked about topics, including the government shutdown. Right out of the gate, he just said it's Democrats' fault. Nuclear testing. That was kind of a headline.
That's with regard to if he's ordered the resumption of nuclear testing, correct? And some see that as saber rattling in case the Chinese are thinking of going and grabbing Taiwan. You better watch it. We're going to resume our nuclear testing program.
And he was pretty strong about how big our arsenal is and what it could do to the world in his own language, which is a little scary. So yeah, he's testing again. So he says
he was also asked about China grabbing Taiwan, and Norah O'Donnell said, "What will you do if that happens? Will you go in and defend Taiwan?" And he said, "I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
I'm not going to give my secrets away.
Spill my secrets." Right. He also deflected from running for a third term, although he said that people would love it. Like typical Trump response, right? And then ICE. So he's defending the tactics of ICE.
He said they're not strong enough. He said they're not strong enough.
He said they could do more, which I think is going to rattle a lot of people. So yeah, kind of interesting. It was a hard interview, I think, for her. I mean, he was interrupting her nonstop, but she stayed the course. I thought it would be a little more conversational, to tell you the truth. There was a lot of note reading, but
let me ask you this. We haven't heard him come out and say, that was a terrible interview. CBS chopped it up.
He did not,
CBS mistreated me. There's a new sheriff running CBS.
It was very opposite Leslie Stahl, huh?
Yeah. He's friendly with the Allisons. He's friendly with David, the guy who bought it. He got paid. The only thing I came out of the White House was they released the unedited stuff where he was going back and forth with them, needling them and teasing them about paying him. So, by the way, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Alison, as a part of that settlement, not only did they write a check, but they also agreed to release the unedited version of whatever going forth.
Practice, though, don't you think? In journalism, we do that at Channel 10. Like I did really long interviews with the first responders in Fall River. We could not possibly get all of that on in a half-an-hour newscast when there's other stories to cover. No. So we released it top to bottom, unedited.
Well,
great practice.
True, but listen, 60 Minutes is where the audience is.
Yeah.
So an edited version is different than the unedited version, which they released.
But journalistically, you're covering yourself by having both available.
Yeah, right? But I haven't heard him come out and say, "Oh, what a hatchet job they did on me again."
It's kind of a first for him. Yeah,
not this time.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
that was interesting, and it was down in Florida, and it was on the heels of everything he just did in Asia. So that was interesting. I thought, good for her. That's a good get for her too. And also speaks also to the new management there as well. We do have a quick soundbite. Let's listen to this.
To get tougher. If we end the filibuster, we can do exactly what we want.
All right, well, that was short.
That's a short clip.
Yeah. A very short clip. But it basically just goes to he can do whatever he wants, and he's going to if he has to.
That's the nuclear option. The nuclear option.
Yes. But you know what else he spoke about? Not just using the National Guard, but potentially pulling Marines and folks from the Army into cities and towns if he wants to. He did touch on that. That was something I had never heard of before. So if he can't get the National Guard to go into like Portland, for example, he said he could tap the military insurrection if he wanted to. He didn't say he would, but he kind of floated that out there like a teaser. Did you hear that part?
I did. He's been talking about that for a while. He says I have the right. There's this insurrection statute he could invoke, I guess.
Do that.
I don't know how much of this is just trolling the Democrats, and some of them just take the bait and swallow it up, and lose their minds.
Deflecting. She didn't ask anything about Epstein, did she?
I didn't hear Epstein come up.
I didn't hear Epstein come up either.
You know why? Because the king and the prince have sucked up all the Epstein oxygen lately. The prince who became a pauper, right?
Yeah, right. I think there's going to be more fallout from that after Prince Andrew and everything too. I
Yeah.
really do. I think
Well, because
maybe unrelated to Epstein, but other things are going to shake up in England because I think Prince William is really got the ear of his father now, and he's making changes.
they say he's really the power behind the throne right now. The future king is kind of pulling the levers of power with the current king, and they got rid of the uncle boy. Boy, that really years ago they would have put him in the Tower of London. That would have been the end of him. But he's basically
It's not just move out; they stripped him of every title too.
Yeah, they found a little cottage somewhere in the back, something.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. We do have the full interview with CBS and everything on our website too. But speaking of Gayle King, what do you think? There was some TMZ video of her where she was like, "That's not what I'm hearing inside of the building. I'm walking outside of the building. The offices are up there. You're talking to me about something very different from what I'm hearing." I don't know. What do you think?
Well, she had a very long run there.
Made good money.
Made very good money for a third place show.
Mm-hmm.
They would seem to be satisfied with her performance for all these decades. Actually, usually if you're not making a run at number one, you're out the first year or your last 6 months. But she lasted a long, long time.
She brought a lot with her too, with her connections with Oprah and everything.
Yeah, true. I don't know if she seemed to be playing not dumb, but I don't know. Nobody's told me that. Against all the buzz around CBS. So
I don't know.
That was TMZ caught her coming out of West 57.
Yeah. I listened to that whole thing. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, the journalism world's really getting shaken up right now for sure.
Oh, it is.
All right.
Well, Alison, against that, it's the pressure of the business. You and I this stuff is on YouTube, right? You and I, we put this on YouTube. Everything's going in a different direction. They're fighting for whatever advertising dollars there is. And you see this playing out in real time.
You really do.
Yeah,
you really do. And locally as well, like in different ways as well. So let's go back to this. I don't know about this a lot, but 2 Cranston residents are in season 2 of the Netflix show, The Squid Game. I never watched this. I know it's huge, but I haven't watched it. The Challenge. Player 052, Dan, I hope I get this right. Robin Ruggieri is a Cranston school teacher. She's joined by player 252. The teacher, we don't know his name, but somehow this is all playing out. Season 2 premieres tomorrow. Cucina Rustica is hosting a watch party. I don't know anything about the Squid Games.
Which one is Cucina Rustica? Is that Nick Iannicelli's place?
Not sure.
Cucina Rustica? Now, okay, I'm going to need a help with this. Squid Game was a novel, am I correct? And then it morphed into a TV show?
Like huge TV show. Well, it's on Netflix, right?
On Netflix, all right.
Yeah. I haven't watched a single piece of it. I don't know why. I'm still watching The Morning Show. Are you still watching The Morning Show?
I did not watch it at all.
Still watching The Morning Show, Al. Very into this season.
This last episode.
That's the Jennifer Aniston show?
It's just going on and on and on, isn't it? She goes from anchor to like running the place, but yet she's surrounded by all the scandals. Somehow she stays, but every CEO leaves. Yeah,
It's interesting how the story started, which was mirroring what happened with Matt Lauer at the Today Show. And now they've touched on COVID and the conflict in the Middle East and everything, and now we're seeing the story evolve into this fight of corporate ownership of media. And it's very reflective,
right?
But it's a fictionalized version of what's happening.
I mean, Holly comes in representing the private equity group, and then somehow she ends up in a relationship with him and like totally inappropriate. It's very dramatic.
Well, who would think? Let's see if this is believable. The guy who owns Oracle Software, his son owns
Alison.
a movie studio out in Hollywood. He buys Paramount. CBS comes with it, and they also put in a bid for Warner Brothers.
Right. Oh, and he's a Newport resident too, once in a while. And they run our software program for all of our time cards.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Larry Ellison's place in Newport, he bought the Astor's Beechwood, right?
Yeah.
Now, we thought he was going to live there at least a weekend a year or something like the old Gilded Age people. That we understand he's been renovating for 10 years. It must be magnificent. He's going to hang his art there. Next door, he bought property on either side as far as he could. He's building what looks like a new Gilded Age mansion. Have you seen this? We need to get down there. We need to get down there and do a story from the Cliff Walk side because you could see it. It's a building going up, the likes of which hasn't been built in Newport in 100 years.
So old
It
meets
is-
new, right next to one another.
He is building what looks like a new Gilded Age mansion, a new version of the Breakers,
Interesting.
right next to the Asterisk. We got to get down there and fly a
I'd
drone.
love
over
to see
it.
that. I love
Yeah.
all that architecture stuff. Interesting. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what he's spending? And the Preservation Society's okay with this?
Well, the property was sold
Are
to
they
the
going to do
left
it?
and the
Private
right.
property, right?
He's installing Central Park in the front. He's been working on the landscaping for years. And they allowed him to tear down one of the structures, and that's what he's building, this what will be a magnificent new Gilded Age mansion. Can you imagine that? You know, the rich are coming back to Bellevue Avenue.
Yeah, they're building cottages apparently.
I think you got three in a row. You got him, and
Yeah.
then you have the guy who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, is in the old Von Bulow place. And then next to that is Miramar, which is owned by Schwartzman, who runs the Blackstone Group, the big private equity.
In
hedge
little
fund thing.
old Rhode Island.
Can you imagine within a quarter of a mile, you got a concentration of wealth? Maybe, I don't know where else you'd have to go see that.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then you got Taylor Swift down in Westerly, not too far.
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno.
It was Judge Judy. She sold it.
She sold.
She made $6 million. She made
Right.
$6 million.
And the other Providence Equity Group folks, they're more
Yeah.
Jamestown, Barrington. Yeah. It's
And then-
a quiet
and then-
little state.
Yeah, and then there's rich people you never heard of.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rhode Island's interesting.
It
You know,
is.
Frank Coletta used to say there's like 3 different Rhode Islands. And in some ways,
That's right.
I get what he's saying. Yeah.
Well, there's three different Newports. You've got the rich, you've got the middle class, and then there's even pockets of poverty at Newport.
There's actually, I learned about this during my community work. So Providence has the most Section 8 public housing in the state, and it's followed up by Newport.
Isn't
Newport,
that interesting?
Newport has the most public housing behind Providence. Yeah.
You don't know it because it's kind of hidden.
Right.
It's-
Yeah.
It's across for there's housing complexes there.
Yeah.
They're just not out in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Betty Jo, our old news director, you guys were texting about this today. I don't watch Hallmark movies. Maybe Mario does because he loves the Golden Girls. But it's just like his genre.
Right.
But I guess, I don't know, something in Newport. What's it called?
What?
Newport Christmas. The film is about a spirited Newport socialite.
Okay, that's her. Stop right there. Okay, let me give you the synopsis here without giving away the ending. She is supposed to be from Newport's Gilded Age, 1905.
Mhm.
Okay, she's out on a boat. A comet passes. It transports her through time to 2025. That guy's the love interest. She's running around Newport. The only thing is, she has perfect pearly white teeth. Keep in mind, 1905. Sensodyne wasn't around yet, and her hair looks like she just walked out of a blow dry bar. So we were discussing the suspension of disbelief, which is for you to enjoy a movie, your mind has to forget that it's fake, they're actors, it's all concocted. You suspend your disbelief. However, they make it easy to bring it back.
It's
in this
Hallmark.
particular movie. It's Hallmark, yeah.
You know,
They make a lot of money with these things.
they sure do. And people watch it. So
Only a few
they don't
shots.
care about our opinion.
Only a few scenes were shot in Newport. A lot of it was shot in Buffalo, which I picked up on
Oh,
because
really?
she's walking down a street, and I said, "That's not Newport.
Yeah.
This is." I think they shot at the wharf.
Oh,
They
so
had
you
some
did
high
watch
shots.
this. Did you watch this?
Well, Diane watched the whole thing last night. I caught about 45 minutes intermittent because I knew I was going to talk about it on the radio.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what she said to me today. I don't think she liked it.
Well, no, she
Oh,
gave it-
that's what you. Oh, I didn't understand this text message from you guys. It could have been a wig. Is that what you were talking about? Her hair?
is that what her hair?
Okay, Betty. Yes, I didn't understand what Betty Jo meant by that. Okay.
Well,
gotcha.
because later in life, when she puts on 2025 clothing, okay, she's got a regular hair. It's
off.
a Hallmark. It's a Hallmark movie. It doesn't have to be 100%. I mean, come
They
on.
don't care. They're making money.
Yeah.
Money in the bank.
You know what I say? This is a great time to become an actor. Years ago, an actor, you can't get a role. You work all your life. You can't catch the break. Today, between Netflix and Hallmark and Hulu, they all need actors to make the stuff,
There's so much content that they need to fill.
right? I think now is the time. You want to be an actor? Go ahead.
There we go.
Yeah,
Natalie could do it. She's got the style.
she could. Yeah.
She's got great style. I always tell you. What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Saturday night, went to dinner at Ella's in Westerly. Enjoyed
Okay,
it very
so
much.
that's where we're supposed to go next, right? How was it?
It was very good.
Okay.
Sunday, just hung around the house, took my mother out for a ride. Look
Yeah.
how they used to take me out for rides when I
Oh,
was a
yeah.
kid. Now I took my mother out for a ride.
That's nice.
We went to the farmer's daughter.
Oh, beautiful. Yep, in
But,
South
yeah,
Cape Town.
like a farmer's market thing,
Mhm.
pumpkins and everything. And just had a quiet night at home. Nothing too eventful.
Nothing too
No,
eventful.
no.
I have some video to show you. I think I texted this to you as well. We threw our first supper club.
Oh, nice.
This was fun. Don't underestimate the amount of work to pull something like this off, though. We tested this on 10 friends and family.
Yeah.
There's my stepson bartending, my good friends Gail and Everett. We took over the cafe that we have on our property that's run by adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay.
And we turned the cafe into kind of a supper club for the night. And it was a lot of fun. My husband, who works at Channel 5, loves to cook. So we did a 5-course spread, totally free for our friends and family. We were grilling filet mignon out in the parking lot. We had a really good time, but it was a lot of work. I have so much respect for caterers. We had to literally move our dining room table in to be able to feed everybody. That's a lemon posset. We had filet mignon and local scallops, of course. The food was good. We did mushroom pappardelle.
So you got a little taste of what the restaurant business must be like without the complaints. They were your friends.
See, my sister had a restaurant in New York City. She's like, so you know how much work it is, but you had friends and family there. So of course they're going to be like, yay.
This is great. Thank you.
Put in the work and then get the, 9 out of 10 tell you it's good and 1 says it could have been better, right? So we had a very easygoing crowd, but we had a lot of fun. It was also kind of a thank you for all of our friends and family who support all of our work outside of TV news. But yeah, we might do it a couple of times a year.
Well, it's very popular in New York. Sometimes chefs they'll do this. They'll have like a private dinner in an apartment that they only use for that.
Right.
And it's very, very popular. You're right. But now, can you imagine being in the restaurant business? You can do all of that constant, nonstop, every day, come back, do it again. And if you do everything right, what do they say? 10% profit margin.
Okay, so I did the math. I mean, so Zach and Alex, my stepsons, who both have experience in restaurants, they were just volunteering their time that night. None of us were getting paid to do this. We bought the food for everybody. We spent quite a bit on food because we care about like the quality of the food. But if we had to pay ourselves and pay Alex and Zach, we'd be lucky to break even on a night like that. And that's pushing the envelope in Rhode Island with what we would need to serve for 10 people.
Yeah.
So we're just looking at it as a hobby, a thank you to our friends and family a couple times a year. And the idea is put 10 people around a table. Everybody knows somebody, but not everybody. Right. So like Brian, my friend from college who works at Hasbro, he came, he met some of my friends from Pawtucket, like that sort of thing. So it was more just fun to kind of get it out there. My husband comes from, he's a really great cook. He's not a chef by any means, but his grandfather was in the diner business. His parents cook. His father grows garlic and like everything on their property. So we just had to kind of get it out of our system, but it was fun.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, while we're talking about the restaurant business, I'm going to host the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. If you're around on the 15th.
Oh, yeah.
Come
November
to it,
15th.
November 15th, Roads on the Patuxent. Lydia, the famous PBS
Oh, I saw these ads. Yeah.
Lydia Bastianich is going to be the guest of honor. So she'll be there. She wants to meet people, sign the books. And it's going to be nice. Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. I'm the MC, November 15th. Just go to the website, Google it.
All right, I've got that down. Also, shout out to a restaurant I just tried recently in Warren. Warren's got a really buzzing food scene right now.
Yeah, on the waterfront,
Well, no, actually, this was further back.
Okay.
St. Martha, I've gone 3 times now. Really beautiful inside, small, cozy Art Deco. It's a couple from Boston who moved down to Rhode Island and homemade pastas, fish. Yeah, it's really good.
I'll have to try it.
We're lucky in Rhode Island. We do have a lot to choose from.
We punch above our weight when it comes to restaurants.
I think so.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so that's what I did this weekend. So maybe you'll get invited to Dave's dinner, our secret supper club.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'll be a good guest.
Whatever. That was fun. We had a good time. Family business. Family, nonprofit business, family business. We do this.
Well, that's okay. So now for those people might be wondering, wait a minute, she's in the restaurant business. You reconverted an old mill in Pawtucket near the train station, and you have your yoga studio, and you have housing, and you also have room for a food pantry. And who runs the cafe?
So the cafe is run by a social service agency, another nonprofit in Rhode Island called Life. It stands for Living in Fulfilling Environments. So it's for adults with intellectual, physical, and developmental disabilities. They run the cafe inside the Veterans Home in Bristol. And that started more than a decade ago.
Okay.
And the idea was to bring folks with disabilities into a place where they can get skills for the workforce. So the executive director from Life, I've worked with her for more than 10 years doing outreach. And we had this garage sitting in the parking lot of our property. And I'm like, if I convert the garage into an open space, would you want to run a second cafe there? So that's what we did. So this is very public facing versus the veterans home, which is more for the folks who
Right. Okay, so you installed a kitchen. They do cooking and everything there.
Yeah, they do build your own sandwiches, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, BLTs. We partner with New Harvest Coffee. To be clear, they run the cafe. We just own the building. But we have this partnership where we can do different events and we can use the space, and they graciously let us use it for our friends and family to do this pop-up supper club over the weekend. Right. But, I give them a lot of credit because the neighborhood that it's in, we didn't have a lot of housing there before us. And now more and more apartments are coming with the train station. And it's a great place to meet people with different abilities who are trying to get their foot into the workforce. And the coffee is really good and the sandwiches are good.
When is it open?
Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturdays, 8 to 1.
Okay, so breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast and lunch.
Every day, 5 days a week?
6.
Oh, no, 6. Saturdays too.
Yeah. And it's good. It's all locally sourced, New Harvest Coffee. And also it serves as a community gathering space.
Okay,
so for instance, on Saturday, a bunch of the group homes that Life operates, they all came for lunch at the cafe. So there's art going on there sometimes. Different financial literacy groups meet there over lunch. And they work with adults with disabilities to gain more life skills.
Well, give the address. Where is it?
390 Pine Street in Pawtucket.
Okay, good.
And it's cool. It's a converted garage. So the garage door goes up and down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. We'll have to have a sandwich there.
You should have Chef Terranova come up and cook with.
It's on our list of things to do. It's on our list.
That'd be fun.
I love working with the chef.
Guest chefs. You could get guest chefs to come and spend the day. That'd be great.
Teaching.
Yeah, teach them
connecting.
And put on lunch. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That's what ideas. See, they drip out of us.
They just come and they're free. We just want to share, Gene. We just share. All right. So that's it for us today.
Yeah.
And thanks for having us on. Are we going to keep calling this coffee break? I keep forgetting my cup of coffee.
I want a better title.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Anchors away.
Something.
Something.
Yeah.
Dan, can we put that on the list?
Coffee milk.
As if he doesn't have enough to do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's 10:30. The Boys and Girls Club in Pawtucket for a board meeting. What are you doing?
I've got to go to the dentist, and I'm going to come in early because I'm giving a tour of Channel 10 tonight.
Oh, that's nice. And I'm on 10 News Conference with you later this month. So.
Oh, okay. All right,
Okay.
good. Yep.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Ciao for now.